Dear viewer, 2024 will be in a few weeks, and let's be honest, 2020 to 2023 wasn't exactly the best handful of years. But we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about games, and on the subject of 2023, we had some of the best games and game announcements of any decade. And I'm not going to talk about any of them. In this video, we're going to be talking about my top 10 personal, emphasis on personal, favorite games of 2023. Without a further ado, I'm ChipChap, and these are my top 10 favorite games of 2023. So, starting off strong, we have Sonic Adventure DX on the GameCube. Now, originally this game was going to be a bit higher on this list, but I came back to it earlier this year. And I'm just going to be honest, I didn't really like it as much as I used to. In terms of story, it still holds up. It's perfectly fine. But in terms of gameplay, I don't really like it. Not that the multiple characters are bad or anything. I love every character in this game except for Big Go Fuck Yourself. So basically, what I don't like about this game in the gameplay department is that it's really janky, and granted it is from the early 3D era, so I am going to give it a bit of, passing by with it, but it just feels much more jank than I remember it being. And that's not to say that the game is bad, you really should give it a shot. That's why it lands on the number 10 spot. You should give this game a shot. It's really good, but do be aware and have some patience with it. In number 9, we have Devil May Cry 2. Now this game, it's bad, like really bad, compared to the first game, which was a high-octane action game. If you need development history of this game, check out Matt McMuscle's video on this game. It's pretty good. But I happen to really like this game. I think it's interesting and still playable. Well, as playable as this. Yeah, it's not too good. I don't recommend it be your first Devil May Cry game, probably your 4th or 5th, I don't know. But in my opinion, it's an okay game. It's not amazing, but it's not bad by any means. Well, so that's my final verdict on Devil May Cry 2. In number 8, we have Animal Crossing for the Nintendo GameCube. Okay, editor's note, I'm probably pissing off a lot of Animal Crossing fans by putting it in the number 8 spot. And to that I say, please don't put me on a stake and light me on fire. I'm still very young and have a lot of life to live. Okay, back to the video. Now, I tried this game earlier this year during the summer. And I'm just gonna be honest, it wasn't my cup of tea. I didn't really like it, but I'm not gonna say it's a bad game by any stretch of the imagination. If a relaxing time is your thing that you're going for, I highly recommend this game. I can't recommend it enough. It just personally, I don't like it. I don't really like Animal Crossing style games, but it's pretty good nonetheless. In number 8, we have Platinum's Bayonetta. Now, if you know anything about Platinum Studios, you know that they make some of the best action games ever, such as Metal Gear Rising, Bayonetta, Bayonetta 2, Bayonetta 3, and a whole bunch of other action games that I have no idea exist, such as I Don't Know Yet, and I Don't Know Yet, the sequel. Anyway, in Bayonetta, you play as an Umbran witch named Bayonetta, as you try to find and figure out who you are, due to a case of amnesia. This game is really good for stylish action, and a few other things if you catch my drift. Regardless, this game comes highly recommended, and if you have the money to spend, I definitely recommend you get it. And with that, that is my final verdict on Bayonetta. Until I do my inevitable review of Bayonetta. In 7th place, we have Shadow of the Colossus for PlayStation 2. In this game, you play as your protagonist Wanderer, as you strive across the opened and forbidden lands. A lonely yet beautiful place, as you try to take down Colossi. The reason why? I think I'll save that for my Shadow of the Colossus review. This game is amazing, and if you have the time to play it, please go out and do so by any means necessary. This game needs to be played, whether it be on PS2, PS3, or the amazing remake on PlayStation 4. Go play this game. In number 5, we have Devil May Cry 1 for PS2. In this game, you play as the protagonist Dante, as you go from place to place on Malay Island, fighting demons in a stylish and efficient manner. Not to mention, soundtrack's pretty kick-ass. So, these are my final thoughts on Devil May Cry 1. Again, until I do my review on Devil May Cry. Hell, I think I might make it a series retrospective. Anyway, those are my final thoughts on Devil May Cry 1. In 4th place, we have Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance for the Xbox 360. In this game, you play as protagonist Raiden from Metal Gear. As if that wasn't already obvious enough. As you hack and slash your way through a terrorist organization known as the Winds of Destruction. Although, if you don't have any context for this game, here's how I'm gonna break it down. Haha, funny meme game that everybody uses in status memes. Okay. I think this game is really good. And those are my final thoughts on Metal Gear Rising. Until I get used to actually talking in front of the microphone, and then I can, feasibly do a review of this game without stuttering and taking 9,000 different takes of the same voice lines. Alright, moving on. And in 3rd place, we have Devil May Cry 4 for Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. Now, I'm not going to talk too much about this game's story, as I do want to save that for my inevitable DMC4 review. However, what you need to know, this game is really good. Amazing first half. Kind of falls off in the back half, but then picks right back up at the end. If you have the money to spend, I definitely recommend you buy this game. Especially the special edition. Hell, through the DMC HD Collection bundle, you can get Devil May Cry 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, as well as the reboot. Every Devil May Cry game is pretty much available everywhere on Steam or Xbox or PlayStation stores, so you really have no reason not to play them. So what are you waiting for? Go be stylish. And in 2nd place, we have Sonic Unleashed for Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Nintendo Wii, PlayStation 2, and Java. Yeah, they really crammed this thing on any game console they could fit it on, and mobile device for that matter. Now, in this game, you play as Sonic, going fast during the day, and at night, you turn into the Werehog, where the game basically becomes God of War, which honestly isn't that bad. As somebody who really likes action games and really likes Sonic, like seriously, my Sonic collection is borderline unhealthy, please put me in a slip jacket in a mental facility. It's pretty good. 2 of my favorite genres, platforming and action. So, my final thoughts on Sonic Unleashed, until I do my review of Sonic Unleashed. So, without a doubt, one of my favorite games of all time. And without a further ado, we move on to the final game of this list. In number 1, we have the absolute chungamungus of this game, the absolute seizure-inducing, most amazing game on this list, Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening. In this game, you play as main protagonist Dante, as you ascend the Demon Tower Temenik. Yeah, I'm not even going to attempt to say that. And fight your twin brother, Virgil. And that's all I'm going to say for this story so far, considering it is absolutely amazing. This game is a work of art. This game is amazing, and this game looks really good for a PS2 game. Even though I've kind of a hypocrite. I've only played the Devil May Cry games for PS2 in the HD collection. I know. Boo. Yeah, well, I'm broke. So, yeah, those are all of my top 10 favorite games of 2023. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas, hell, happy 2024. I don't know when I'm gonna get this video done, man, whatever. Now, let's move on to some of the honorable mentions of this video. Games that didn't quite make the list, but are still really, really good. Or just games that I really like and haven't played in 2023. So, without further ado, let's move on to the honorable mentions. Okay, let's start this thing off strong with Resident Evil 4 on Nintendo GameCube. No, I have not played the remake yet. So, the reason this game didn't really make the list is I really couldn't find a spot for it. That, and I didn't play it this year, I played it last year. But that's besides the point. Moving on, we have BioShock 2 for Xbox 360. The reason that this game is not on the list, I haven't beaten it yet. And last, but certainly not least, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. I only played this game once, and then I had to return it back to my friend. But from what I did play, this game is absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, that's kind of the end of the video. If you had a good time, I'm very happy, because this video is really, really hard to make. I'm not comfortable yet talking into a microphone, so I have to record my voice lines like 10,000 times. Yeah, that wasn't a joke earlier. I actually do end up hanging up my lines and messing up a lot. So from the bottom of my heart, if you did watch this, thank you. And I'm not going to ask you to subscribe. As a matter of fact, I'm going to list some channels on the screen that you should go subscribe to instead of me. Because let's be honest, they're much better than me at what they do. And you should go show them some love. So, without further ado, I'm ChipChap, and I hope you have an amazing day. Peace out.